Good afternoon. Today is May 7th, 2019, 2 p.m. We are going to start with our CDA regular meeting first, but if we could all stand for the pledge. Bob, you want to lead us?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're going to run the complete CDA meeting, and then we will switch over to our regular town board meeting. So, Dawn, do you want to lead us in the meeting?
Just gonna open the meeting?
The meeting's open.
Okay. There's no business of the CDA that's required as of today, so I think you can.
You want to have the minutes approved from the last
Oh,
special?
yeah, so we're gonna vote to
Okay.
approve the minutes of the
Of
last
April
CD.
25th.
Yes. Somebody wanna make that?
Can I approve the minutes for the special meeting for April 25th, 2019 at 9:30 a.m.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded?
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted, the minutes are approved.
Okay, and then, that's all the business that we have for the CDA, so can I have a first and second to close the CDA meeting, and open the town board meeting?
Motion.
Aren't there supposed to be public comments?
I'm sorry, corrected. If there's anybody that would like to come up and comment?
Hi, I'm Kathy McGraw from Northville Beach, and I just wanted to get an update on the status of the EPCAL contract. I know when last you met, there was the resolution regarding the outside counsel, and there was supposed to be an invitation to Kat to come and speak to the CDA, and I was wondering if you could let us know what's going on with that.
Yep, we heard back from Calverton Aviation and Technology today. They have agreed to come to the May 19th, is it? May 16th, town board work session, so they will be here to present then. We just heard back from them today about that, and we're waiting for an official letter for them that they will be coming to that meeting. We have asked our town attorney, Mr. Kozakevich, to go through some attorneys and to vet several of those attorneys, and then to schedule some interviews for that. So he has done that. I think he's narrowed it down to about 4 firms at this point, and if it's the pleasure of the board, for this Thursday, if we could schedule some of those appointments for the attorneys to come in. If we could, if the board would be okay with that, I would like to follow the procedure that we did, the board did when they vetted outside counsel for the contract previously, which I believe, if it's okay with the board, I believe Mr. Hubbard and Mr. Walter was in there. So I'd like to have myself and Mr. Hubbard there, and then we go through the interview process, other board members can switch out and come in and interview them also. So if that is a recommendation.
I had replied to the email that I wanted it done at a public work session so that they could be vetted not only with us, but with the public as well.
Okay.
Okay, and then I had one other question. I'm not sure this is the right group to be asking, but I was at the planning board regarding the new 8-lot subdivision application. And in reading the materials from that, including the consistency analysis that the planning board had done, I learned that the SECRA that was done for the 50-lot subdivision, the town was the lead agency on that. And I also learned that only the town can decide whether a supplemental environmental impact statement is necessary given the new 8-lot subdivision. And I wanted to find out if you all were aware of that and what the status of that is.
I will have Bob comment on that, but it's my understanding it's an amendment.
Yeah, but I really think that it's an appropriate question to be posed to the planning board and planning staff, because that's who's handling it, but I'm not sure I know what the question is. Is it your question as to whether the town board is the only agency that can make the call on whether supplemental is necessary?
No. The consistency analysis said that since the town was the lead agency and issued the generic environmental statement.
For the prior one, when the state
Yes.
legislation was being done?
Yes.
Okay.
That
And-
only the
okay.
town, the lead agency, can determine whether a supplemental environmental statement is necessary. I believe that's on page 7 of the a consistency evaluation that was done by Mr. Seaman. And so it would seem to me that before anything could happen on the eight lot subdivision, the town, which was the lead agency, would have to make some kind of a decision as to whether the 8-lot subdivision warrants or requires a supplemental environmental statement.
I'm going to have to look at the seeker regs and get back to you, because I don't know that answer right off the top of my head.
Okay,
All right?
thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, do you have a motion to adjourn?
No, because we didn't do the vote on it.
Okay, so, but there's an
Motion
open
was
motion and a
made,
second?
seconded, and
Yeah.
then discussion.
Okay, so we're voting.
Right,
So-
oh, did you want to just vote to close? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Just want to make sure we're on the same
Okay.
page. Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
No, I like it here.
Jen Smith?
Yes,
Okay, the CDA meeting is adjourned.
okay. And we now open the town board meeting. I will turn it over to you, Jim, for invocation.
Sure. We would like to start all our meetings off with an invocation from our faith community, and we're very proud to have with us one of our best litter volunteers this past weekend, and helped us set up the whole Eventbrite page for the community. So, Pastor Dave from the, let's see, let me get this, the Calvary Baptist Church, Pastor Dave Cook.
Let's pray. Lord, we just come before you this afternoon. We just thank you so much for this beautiful day that you've given us. We thank you so much for the privilege we have to live in a community where people can come together and have their say. Lord, we do pray that your Spirit would be present this morning, or this afternoon, excuse me. I pray, Lord, that peace would reign, Lord, that there would be a sense of community here, Lord, that we would be looking out for one another as brothers and sisters, Lord. And I just pray that it would all be to your glory, Lord. We pray that we thank you as we know in your word that we're told that if we seek wisdom, if we ask you for wisdom, you will supply it, Lord. We do pray for wisdom in all of the decisions that need to be made here, Lord. We just pray ultimately that we would have a spirit of civility, Lord, and that all of it would be to your glory. We just thank you once again and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Cook.
All right, and then we will move on to proclamation. So if we could have Frank Messina come up.
Who?
Come on, Jim, rolling up doors.
Sorry. I lost weight.
Not so, just what you say. All right, it's always an honor when we do the Employee of the Quarter, and we have a proclamation for you, so I will read it. Honoring Frank Messina upon the occasion of receiving the Town of Riverhead Employee of the Quarter for 2019 award. Where it is both fitting and proper that the town board and the residents of the town of Riverhead join in recognizing an individual who has provided an outstanding public service to the town of Riverhead. Whereas, in order to provide a mechanism to recognize exceptional employees, and upon the recommendation of the Labor Management Committee, the Employee of the Quarter program has been established. And whereas, Frank has demonstrated initiative and the utmost care carrying out the responsibilities of his position, starting in the Community Development Office in 2019 as a grant technician with a diligent, and eager attitude.
What was that word again? Sorry.
Diligent,
Okay.
diligent. Let it be known that as a result of Frank's hard work and dedication, the Labor Management Committee has recently named you Employee of the Quarter for the first quarter of 2019. Furthermore, the board wishes to congratulate you for being chosen as Employee of the Quarter in consideration of all your efficiency and courteous performance while fulfilling your professional obligation to the town of Riverhead. So therefore, I, along with the entire town board, do hereby congratulate you, Frank, on being bestowed the Employee of the Quarter Award, and urge all citizens and employees join in sustaining public awareness of this vital member of our town throughout the year. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
don't care who gets the credit, and that's how our office functions, that's our motto, but really on, many occasions, it's really important to make sure that the people that deserve the credit get the credit. And so we wanna make sure that Frank is recognized because we value him as a person who is diligent, meticulous, just dedicated to his job, doesn't ask for anything other than just to come in and have a good day. So we're really grateful for your work, and thank you so much.
Put him in the middle.
Speech.
Lori, for labor magic, that he also was gonna.
Do you wanna say something? Okay, come on. Look at Laura. Okay. No?
But if they were to speak, they said, out of 100 said the guy.
Come on, turn sideways.
Who, me? I don't turn sideways, I still my stomach.
Ready? Everybody go look. 1, 2, 3.
Hurry up, I can't hold my breath any longer.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all the hard work. Good work.
Great choice.
Take a day off.
You do get a day off.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
That was a pleasant surprise.
All right, we will move on to announcements. We will be doing a cleanup at the Riverhead train station on Saturday, June 1st at 8:30 a.m. Come and volunteer with your neighbors as we build on the progress made during our fall cleanup, and all the flowers are blooming up there. If you like, you can bring your shovels and gloves to help plant and beautify the train station. All are welcome, and any help is appreciated. If you need more information, you can call through to my office and we can provide you with that. The town will be holding a street renaming dedication ceremony for fallen NYPD detective and Riverhead native Brian Simonson. Detective Simonson lost his life in the line of duty this past February. In honor of his service, the town will be renaming the street he grew up on, South Jamesport Avenue, in his honor. So please join us on June 15th at 1 p.m. at the corner of Main Road and South Jamesport Avenue on the lawn of the George Young Community Center, and all are welcome to attend that. And once again, you can call through to my office if you'd like more information. And as always, we remind you to sign up for email, and you can do that for e-notifications, and you can sign up for that at the townofriverheadny.gov. And any correspondence that you would like to have be part of the record and to go to the full town board needs to go to the town clerk. You can also mail them to them at 200 Howell Avenue, or you can email at townclerk@townofriverheadny.gov. So those are my announcements, and may I have a first and second for approval of the town board minutes. One was a special meeting on April 11th, 2019 at 9:30 a.m. And the other one was the regular town board meeting on April 16th, 2019 at 6 p.m.
Motion.
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
Okay, I will turn it over to you, Diane.
Okay, under correspondence, I had 4 letters in opposition to serving alcohol at the Jamesport Beach concession. A letter from John McAuliffe expressing comments on the hiring of an independent counsel for guidance in the EPCAL contract. Kathleen McGraw sent a letter to the planning board and town board expressing concerns on the proposed new 8-lot subdivision at EPCAL. Tom Hughes sent a letter expressing views on the proposed expanded operation at URT. Chris Kent of Farrell and Fritz sent a letter regarding the public hearing of April 16th to consider the petition of Knowles at Fox Hill, Phase 5, to extend services by the Riverhead Water District. And Judge Alan Smith sent a letter regarding changes to state legislation and the effect on the operation of the Riverhead Justice Court and Riverhead Police Department. Under reports, the tax receiver had 3 reports for tax collection, but I'll just give you the amount of the last one. And that was $89,677,094.01. The tax receiver also had the utility collection report from March, that was $314,643.28.
Good thing I paid my bill.
Building department submitted their April monthly report, $150,914.82. Town clerk, April monthly report, $10,171.92. The Town of Riverhead, 2018 annual financial report was submitted. Riverhead IDA 2018 financial statements were submitted. Riverhead IDA Economic Job Development Corp., 2018 financial statements were also submitted. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, we will move on to our public hearings. The first of the public hearings was to begin at 2:05. Ooh, the clock is not even right.
No, the
It is now 2:20. The first public hearing is regarding a lateral water main extension for Riverhead Lost, Georgica Green Ventures LLC. Is there anybody coming up to speak on this?
Good afternoon. I'm John Collins with H2M and Tom Kruger from the Riverhead Water District, here to address
It's a tongue twister.
Georgica Green Ventures, which is right over here on East Main Street. First thing I want to note that the resolution has the incorrect tax map number. The correct tax map number should be section 129, lot 1, block 1, lots 22.1 and 21. Just wanted to note that. What we hear today is that this project has already been approved for an extension. It's fully within the water district. We had bid this project. We've now bid this project twice. Both times that we bid it, bids received were higher than expected. First time the bids received were in excess of $500,000. This time the bids received are $403,015. When the town board initially approved this extension, they had approved a total project cost of $375,000. So now we're asking that the town board approve an increase to the total budget to $502,650 at no cost to the town.
Am I not reading this correctly? I'm getting 300, I have, in the reso, it's 361,297?
That's the additional cost, yes.
Oh, that's the additional cost from the previous one?
Yep, and all, should be all applied to the developer and none to the town.
Okay. All right, any questions from anybody? No?
It'd be nice to have running water.
Are you also doing the 210?
Yes, ma'am.
Resolution, so you know what, I'm gonna call the public hearings out of order. And I'll call the public hearing that was scheduled for 2:10. It is now, 2:20, yeah. 2:25.
We're closing the first one?
Shouldn't do anything.
Yes, we can close the first one and leave it open for written comment. We'll, close it and leave it open for 10 days for written comment.
Is it 225? Is that what it is?
I'm gonna go, am I ahead on my watch? What time is it? Okay, 2:23.
Okay.
And this is, let me just pull it up. Did anybody from the public want to comment on that first public hearing? Cory? No, okay. So we'll call the second public hearing, which is order calling for public hearing regarding lateral water main extension for G&Z Retirement Community Middle Road.
Okay.
Floor is
Again,
yours.
John Collins with H2M and Tom Kruger from the Riverhead Water District. This is just to call for the lateral extension of water mains. The project is fully within the Riverhead boundaries of the Riverhead Water District. We first came to you with this project in 2011 for approval and received approval. Developer never proceeded with any type of construction, so now he's ready, and we had to come back to the board because since 2011, costs have changed. So like I said, this is already in the district. It's a small retirement, senior, I shouldn't say retirement, just a senior community located on Middle Road, just east of Stoneleigh Drive. Developer proposes to construct 7 new buildings consisted of 15 new dwellings. In order to service these dwellings, we have to extend the water main approximately 500 feet with new hydrants at a cost of $137,000. Irrigation will be from a private well, and then since this will be an additional large subdivision with an expected water use of 4,500 gallons per day, it will be assessed a key money of $40,950.
Can I just ask, the one home that's there is not hooking up to the water, is there a reason for that?
Actually, we were just looking at that today. That existing home is served by a private well, and therefore, I think as part of this, or not part of this subdivision, but the developer proposes to construct that as a model. He is gonna bring new water to it, yes.
So they will be connecting water to that?
Yes.
Once it's developed?
Yep.
Okay. All right, is there any questions from the board or anybody from the public that would like to come up and comment? Seeing nobody, I will close this public hearing and leave it open for written comment for 10 days.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
John, thank you.
Thank you, John.
All right, at this time, I will open up the public hearing that was scheduled for 2:10. I'm gonna just shave some minutes off and say it's 2:25 now. And this is the consideration of a local law to amend chapter 105 Boards, Commissions, and Councils, chapter 217 Building Construction Improvements and Housing Standards, chapter 301 Zoning and Land Development. Bob, this is the electronic, do you wanna address this?
Yeah, it's a little bit jumbled because you're jumping between chapters. As a result of the recodification, when the town renumbered its chapters, some of the sections got moved around. Most of them previously were in chapter 108, which was the zoning chapter. In 2005, the town board chose to add, as part of the code, electronic records retention fees. And those fees were to be set by a resolution of the town board. They've never been implemented. We've never collected an electronic retention fee. I spoke with town engineer as well as planning and building, and we're just not equipped at this time to handle this or take this in. So, and since we haven't been charging the fees, some of the thought was to just remove it since it's not being utilized. So the idea is to repeal all these fees for the time being, and hopefully at some point when we are fully up and functional and able to accommodate electronic records and charge an appropriate fee, we can revisit this particular code provision. So it's eliminating it in chapter 105, specifically at 105.9, in chapter 217, specifically 217.12, and then in the minor subdivision section of chapter 301, which is 308.288, and in the major subdivision section of chapter 301, which is 301.289.
All right, any comments from the board? Anybody from the public? Seeing nobody, I will close the public hearing and leave it open for written comment for 10 days. At this time, I ask anybody from the public who would like to come up and address any of the resolutions on the agenda.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton.
All right, Sal.
Resolution 331. I noticed in 255 applications, there's now mention of a crowd manager certified for 250 or more attendees. This particular resolution has no mention of a crowd manager.
In the application is the crowd manager?
Excuse me?
In the application?
I don't know about the application. I just noticed that in the 255 resolutions, you mention a crowd manager, a certified crowd manager for more than 250 people. But this particular resolution, there's no mention of a crowd manager. Should it have a crowd manager in the resolution?
I'd have to go back and look at that. I don't remember a crowd manager in the resolution. We
Well-
could take a look at that.
Okay. 333, the same comment. There's no mention of a crowd manager for any of the 4 shows at the, I guess it's the Long Island Power Association.
Okay.
And the last one is Resolution 335. There's no mention of the 255 fee being paid.
Diane, do you know if that fee was paid?
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, Carol, it's Diane. Could you tell me if there was a fee paid for the, Mexican, bull riding? That was it's on the agenda for today, Can you have that paid though? This is really,
Bob, are you looking up about the crowd manager?
Yeah, I
I-
think I'm gonna have to go see Laura.
Yeah, I don't remember what that is.
They had 2 though, didn't they?
All right,
They
while
had
we
4 altogether, okay.
straighten that out, we can, well, I'll wait for Diane to get finished.
The June 16th is the one.
Diane, I can have,
$200? Okay, thanks.
the fee was paid.
Yeah,
Okay.
in February,
Okay, so 335, the fee was paid.
for $200.
Okay. Okay, we will move on to resolutions.
Anyone else have?
If we could take resolution 1 through 5, which is appoint, student interns to, the accounting department, and the Department of Land Management, and the town engineering department.
1 through 5, you mean 8 through,
I'm sorry, yeah.
308.
8
through 11.
8 through 11. So can I have a first and second to take resolution 308 through 312?
I'll make a motion that we,
312 is reappoints.
Oh, I'm sorry, 311, sorry.
that we incorporate resolutions 308, 309, 310, and 311, which all appoint student interns to various departments throughout the town. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution 308 through 311 are adopted. Resolution 312.
This reappoints a temporary student intern 2 to the town engineers department. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 313.
Reappoints a temporary office assistant to the tax receiver's office. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 314.
Appoints an unpaid intern to the supervisor's office. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Is she crazy? Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 315.
Appoints part-time homemakers to the seniors program, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 316.
Appoints a groundskeeper 1 to the building and grounds division of the town engineers department. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 317.
Appoints a call-in recreation aide 1 to the recreation department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 318.
Ratifies the appointment of seasonal assistant beach managers to the recreation department. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 319.
Ratifies the appointment of seasonal beach attendants to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 320.
Ratifies the appointment of salaries for the 2019 seasonal personnel for the Riverhead Recreation Department. So moved.
Second.
Just so. First and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 321.
Changes the status of part-time police officers. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 322.
Accepts the resignation of a homemaker. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, the next resolutions, oh, never mind,
No.
sorry,
Okay.
not yet, I'm way
No,
ahead
I
of you,
know.
yeah, go ahead.
Resolution 323.
Accepts the resignation of a maintenance mechanic 2. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 324.
This reclassifies the titles of account clerk typists. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, this is where the, Suffolk County Department of Civil Service has changed the job title from account clerk typist, it is now being replaced to the title account clerk. So moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 325.
Reclassifies the title of a senior account clerk typist for the same reasons why the supervisor just stated. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 326.
Establishes standard workday for elected and appointed officials. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes, except Stanley Carey's name is spelled incorrectly on the attachment, so I wanna fix that.
I wrote a little note there. Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 327.
Ratifies authorization for the supervisor to execute a contract addendum with the senior program director. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 328.
328 reappoints members to the Town of Riverhead Wildlife Management Advisory Committee. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yeah, I'd just like to say Rob and Chris do a great job with that, so certainly yes.
Giglio?
Yes, absolutely.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 329.
Reappoints member to the Senior Citizen Advisory Council. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Absolutely yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Now we will do resolution 330 through 336
Okay,
altogether.
the only thing is, Bob, about the,
I didn't see anything in the code calling for it.
the crowd manager.
Yeah, crowd manager, I'm taking a ventured guess, because I know Laura does most of these without my input, that this is something that was discussed between the fire marshal or the police and herself, and based upon the circumstances of the event, that he asked for that.
He would appoint it if necessary?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so then can I have a first and second to take resolution 330 through, what was the last number?
336.
Through 336.
I move that we accept resolutions 330 through 336.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolutions 330 through 336 are adopted. Resolution 337.
Authorizes Lawrence M. Levy, DBA On-Site Productions, to provide cablecast production services utilizing Sarah Snyder, Vincent Metas, and Emily Toth as subcontractors on an as-needed basis at consultant's own cost and expense. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 338.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement authorizing the town to accept funds from Suffolk County Office for the Aging to supplement the town's expanded in-home services for the elderly program. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 339.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a license agreement with the Floating Upweller Systems, called FLUPSY, in East Creek. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 340.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with Flint Stenography and Transcription Services for the transcription of town meetings. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 341.
East Creek Dock Emergency Repair Budget Adjustment. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and I just wanted to just clarify this, at the East Creek dock, one of the transformers, needs to be replaced. PSEG came in, and they turned off all of the power to that until the second transformer is replaced, and they will not turn it back on till that time. There is a waiting period for the, some lag time for getting the transformer. We're hoping that the transformer will be up and everything will be running by Memorial Day weekend. We will be sending a letter out to all of those that have slips at the dock. This is an unforeseen problem. We found out in mid-April that the transformers were not working, and we were hoping to keep some of the spots up and running with power, but because PSE, as I said, has determined that we cannot turn it on, so it is, we are working on that, and we'll get that up and running as soon as possible.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 342.
Ratifies the assignment of fund balance in the general fund for the municipal garage. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 343.
Riverview Lofts Water Main Extension Project, number 601184, budget adjustment. So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 344.
This is S-Power secret expense budget adjustment. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Bob, this is one of Chris's projects,
Yes,
correct?
it is.
As per a decision by the Town Ethics Board, it has been recommended that I make a disclosure each time one of my ex-husband's projects or clients is, has a decision before me. My ex-husband, Christopher Ken, is an attorney who represents clients before the Town Board, Planning Board, and Departments. He represents, S-Power. Our divorce was final as of 2013. I do not have any business dealings, and I do not stand to gain or benefit financially from decisions made in reference to his clients in any way.
Can she add the Knowles too at this time disclosed for both, or do you have to do them separate?
I would just say that I'm making the same statement I made with respect to the prior one, it's gonna have a repeated verbatim. How about that?
Right
When
now?
the vote comes up.
When the
just
vote
repeat
comes
it, yeah.
up, okay.
That-
Good.
For the same reasons stated earlier in the record, I would
All
ask
right.
that they be made part of this record.
Okay.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
And I vote yes.
Okay.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 345.
Plant 4 Rehabilitation Capital Project number 81953, budget adoption. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 346.
Plant 5 Manganese Removal Project number 81951, budget adoption. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
This is 46, right?
This is 46, correct.
As per a decision by the Town Ethics Board, I'm to
No,
make
you
a
don't
dis-
have
I know that,
No.
I'm to make a disclosure each time, so I make the same disclosure that I made previously for S-Power verbatim. And I vote yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 347.
Awards bid for Town of Riverhead, sale of obsolete surplus highway department vehicles, equipment, as is conditioned. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 348.
Authorization to purchase a used dump truck for the use by the town highway department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes, Geo doing his magic and finding used equipment at a great price. It still has a lot of life left in it. Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 349.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a request for proposals for Youngs Avenue landfill testing, maintenance, and monitoring. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 350.
Ratifies acceptance of donation of high water rescue vehicle for use by the Town of Riverhead Police Department. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yeah.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 351.
Authorizes the removal of fixed assets. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 352.
Public interest order in the matter of the increase and improvement of facilities of the Riverhead Water District in the town of Riverhead, Suffolk County, New York. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
This is water. Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 353.
Order establishing lateral water main extension for the proposed vistas, the Knolls at Fox Hill, Phase 5. So moved.
Seconded.
Yes.
As per the Ethics Board.
Wait, no, we have one moved. We didn't get a second.
Yeah, he did, and then I was
Okay.
waiting for you.
Okay, so a vote please.
Okay, Kent.
Once again.
This is
as-
53 we're on, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, you have to make a disclosure.
As per the Ethics Board, I'm going to make the same disclosure I made earlier verbatim. I vote yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 354.
Order establishing lateral water main extension for NERP Holding Tractor Supply Company. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yeah, this is a great project, Tractor Supply, that's going in on 25 in Calverton. Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 355.
Authorizes notice to bidders installation of water mains and appurtenances, NERP Holding Tractor Supply Company, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The resolution adopted. Resolution 356.
356, NERP Holdings and Acquisitions LLC, Tractor Supply, Water Main Extension Water Capital Project number 60090, budget adjustment. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 357.
Adopts a local law amending Chapter 301 entitled Zoning and Land Development of the Riverhead Town Code, Article, 42.
42.
So moved. Oh, transfer development rights, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and this is the one that we had the public hearing on. We had taken part of the transfer development rights out. We had sent the other part of the transfer development rights for the retirement community back to several other communities for their input before moving forward on it. So this was part of the public hearing. It was split out, and this is the portion of it that we were moving forward with. So I don't know if I said yes, but yes.
Okay, resolution adopted. Resolution 358.
Adopts a local law amending Chapter 249 entitled Mobile Homes and Travel Trailer Parks to the Riverhead Town Code, Chapter 249-20, Records. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yeah, I just want to say that I did meet with members of the Manufactured Homeowners Association on a Friday afternoon a few weeks ago, and we discussed some of the questions that they had with the proposed legislation. I did seek an opinion from the town attorney's office because one of the concerns was that they be required to take out a rental permit prior to the occupancy of the unit. And I did get a response from Mr. Howard in the town attorney's office saying that rental permits required prior to any occupancy currently exists under the code under chapter 263-4. So he didn't see the need in going back out for a public hearing because it's already in the town code that says that no unit is to be occupied unless they have a rental permit first. So I'm glad that this is getting adopted today, just so that we can send out letters to all of the park owners, letting them know that they are responsible to keep the records of any rental unit within the parks. And I will vote yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 359.
Adopts a local law amending Chapter 263 entitled Rental Dwelling Units to the Riverhead Town Code, 263-3 Definitions and 263-7 Compliance with town, county, and state laws required. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Part of the same resolution that we just adopted, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes. And
Resolution adopted.
And this one will also put some onus on the owner of the unit. When they get the rental permit, they will have to provide that rental permit to the office within 30 days of receiving that rental permit.
Resolution 360.
360 is authorizes the settlement of a claim made against the town of Riverhead. Keith Fink. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 361.
Authorizes legal action against Suffolk County Industrial Development Agency and the owners, tenants, occupants, and mortgagee of the property located at 20 East Main Street, Riverhead, New York, otherwise known as the Culinary Institute. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
I'm not supportive of this. I vote no.
Hubbard.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote yes, because I think we need to come up with some kind of plan that allows the town of Riverhead with its own IDA agency to operate within the town without, I don't wanna use the word interference, cause it's not interference, but maybe not operating, Suffolk County, I don't feel needs to be operating within the town of Riverhead. I know they can by law, but I think when we have our own IDA for the town, we should use our own IDA for the town, period. So I'm voting yes.
Giglio.
So I just want to say a couple things because I know that the public hearings did happen and we did have representation by both the supervisor and the town attorney who attended those meetings in opposition of these incentives being granted for another 10 years. When they applied for these incentives 10 years ago, there was a blighted building there, there was essentially a pond on the property. So the fact that they took down that building and built a new building, which is what we have today, is magnificent. And it was a 10-year abatement that they were given. Then 10 years go by and they come in and they ask for another 10-year abatement. And under the state law for IDA incentives, it says that the authorization statute, the purpose of an IDA is to promote, develop, encourage, and assist in acquiring, constructing, improving, maintaining, or equipping certain facilities, thereby advancing the job opportunities, health, general prosperity, and the economic welfare of the people of New York. And I don't see that they have done anything as far as improving the property, adding more jobs, They don't meet the abatement requirements in order to apply and be granted for another 10 years, in my opinion. The supervisor had asked them to be open on weekends and weeknights during the summer, and those requests have gone ignored. They have not reached out to the town and said that we will acknowledge what the supervisor has said, and we will come up with an agreement. At least I haven't seen an agreement come across my desk that says that they're willing to do that. I also believe that it's a conflict of interest for the Suffolk County IDA to give another 10-year abatement to a private property owner when the only benefit is to the Suffolk County. So the Suffolk County IDA is giving a benefit, and the only people that are gonna benefit from it is Suffolk County, not Town of Riverhead residents, not our taxpayers. The money's gonna stay in the county coffers instead of going in the pockets of the Riverhead taxpayers. 20-year tax breaks should not become a habitual practice unless there are improvements and more jobs that are gonna be created, and there's going to be a positive economic impact on our community here in Riverhead. The school district, the town, and the highway department could use the money. The Senator Lavelle, I've spoken with him about it, and I'm trying to get a bill put forth in the state that says that if the town or if a local municipality has an IDA, that nobody can go outside of the town to the county or to another IDA to seek incentives. So I know that this is probably going to be a difficult vote for Jim because he sits with our IDA, and I believe that we all on the board support the Riverhead IDA, and I'm sure that the Riverhead IDA supports the idea that they should be coming to Riverhead IDA seeking incentives and having our IDA try and determine what economic impacts would be good for the residents of Riverhead. But the Suffolk County IDA granted the incentives, and the only beneficiary of that is Suffolk County. It's in Suffolk County's lease from the private property owner that they are to pay the taxes. So I think it's a conflict of interest for a county IDA who's appointed by the county legislature to vote to give them another 10-year tax abatement. It's the county giving a gift to the county. And for that reason, I feel it's very important to file the Article 78 and move forward to get this decision reversed so that this does not become a habit. And I vote yes to move forward with the Article 78.
Wooten.
I'll show you how hard this is. Yeah, I'm going back and forth, I get it. The whole IDA, the whole stigma of IDA has been really thrown out there. Every election cycle you hear about the IDA and how it's ripping the taxpayers off. I don't buy any of it, but I remember what was there. I remember when Rimlands was torn down. I remember the mosquito problem we had with the pools. I remember when they came in and Suffolk County College created that building. And when they first opened up, actually it's the #1 school on the East End for culinary arts, by the way. They're busting at the seams with enrollment. It's very positive for our young people in the town as well as in the community. That being said, they fixed up the property. They made a very successful program there. They did have a 10-year abatement. Now, we did have a problem, and we negotiated in good faith with them, and we rectified the payment last time. Going after a Suffolk County IDA on a local level, you can do that, and it certainly makes for setting up a good communication, but I think it's a little heavy-handed right now. We can always sue. I think it will force us to the table to negotiate, which is what we really should be doing. Short of the school buying the property and taking it completely off the tax rolls, which they certainly can do. I think, and I am wrestling back and forth, but I really, it was different with Atlantis. We gave them a 30-year abatement. I think they negotiated in good faith last time. I think they'll negotiate in good faith. If not, we'll do it again. But I just think at this point, it's heavy-handed. We're just into the new season, so I'm not ready to move forward on this heavy-handedness, so, not at this point. So I vote no.
Jen Smith.
And I'm gonna go with you, Jim. I vote no on this. I think that we did make our case to the Suffolk County IDA. I think they listened to what they said. I think the school district was not in favor of I think that they had reached an agreement with the Suffolk County IDA and what they wanted from as part of this agreement. I think that was done in good faith. My other question, Bob, for an Article 78, are we out of the time frame?
Not yet.
No, not yet?
Close.
Okay.
I think the end of this month is the end of the time frame.
So I am going
Bob?
to vote no on this. I think also, Jody, you had mentioned that the school has ignored our request to be open during the week and on weekends. I don't know that we've given them any formal request. I think that we should discuss it at a work session, how we would like them to help participate and revitalize our downtown, and send a formal request to them and see if they respond to us.
Well, I thought that you did that at the public hearing.
I brought it up at the public hearing, but there was no formal request from us to be open on the weekends. I think Bob had spoken to them also, but I think that it certainly deserves a follow-up from the town before we accuse them of ignoring our requests.
I think the public
You better
hearing in the
vote no.
record
Vote
speaks
no,
for
we'll
itself,
say something.
but.
Vote and then I'll say.
So I did, I voted 3 times already.
The only thing and the reason I hesitate, and really, I want to be very honest, is I remember when they first opened up and they had the bake, they had all the wares that the students were making, and they had it open front where people could come and have coffee and have crumpets and showcase the school, and there was a lot of pushback from the local community, a lot of pushback from the local restaurants, a lot of pushback from the local breakfast establishments saying, well, these guys are competing with us. So they actually drew it back out of pushback from the business community, so there's gotta be a balance there as well.
Well, certainly we have a lot of problems, we've had a lot of problems with them, that we're working on. But as far as them being a good part of our community, I have a lot of my Peconic Estuary meetings there, and there are a lot of students coming in and out, and there's a lot of bustle going on there, and I think, it's been a good addition to our Main Street.
I agree with you, it really has been a good addition to the Main Street, but I don't think we should have to fight them to get them to pay their taxes, and that's what we had to do, and that leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And the fact now that the county comes in and just extends carte blanche to them when it really has it has an effect on the county, it's a benefit for them. It hurts the people of the town of Riverhead, and that's what kinda irritates me, is that we have our own IDA. They should be making these decisions, not the county. It's kinda like letting the fox in the hen house when you let the county IDA deal for a county property. So, to me, that's just wrong, but in terms of the program itself, it's aces. I've talked to restaurant owners that use students to graduate out of, they're extremely happy with it. The building is used for many other reasons, and it's been a great asset. But having said that, I think this is just wrong the way it's going with the county IDA, making those determinations.
And they did get a tax bill this year for 2019 for $129,231.10. And they're only going to be paying about $30,000 of that, so. The highway's not gonna see their $34,000, or the town is not gonna see their $28,000, the highway's not gonna see their $5,000, and the school district is not gonna see their $72,783. So they'll see a portion of it, but it's 25% of it, so it's, especially with the shape that our school district is in now, and I'm wondering if there was ever a public vote from the school district to negotiate it down to the 25%, or if they, anyway, very disappointing to me, but the board has voted, so.
And I think the school district has chosen to act on their own accord. We're not connected with them, or do we influence them in any way? They make their own decision, and they spoke for themselves. We advocated for more than we ultimately got, but we did that at the public hearing before the IDA, as well as our town attorney and our tax assessors were there.
Yeah.
And I think in this situation, it's also important to listen to our town attorneys. And this is the advice, not to move forward with this, that I believe our town attorneys recommended.
All right, so
Can you
move on.
wrap that up?
Yep.
Okay, so resolution 361 is not adopted, and we'll move on to resolution 362.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with an employee amending terms and conditions of employment. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 363.
Pays bills, so moved.
A second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, at this time, I would ask anybody from the public that would like to come up and comment on anything to please come forward.
While that's happening, I just wanted to get back to the crowd manager issue. The fire marshal did inform my office that under New York State Fire Code, the sections 403.12.3, that in those instances where there's a gathering of more than 1,000 people, the New York State Code provides that a crowd manager is supposed to be incorporated in the public safety plan.
Okay,
And
but,
then it's one for every 250 people.
okay, so it's only
So
when
you
the
have to have-
event is
so you
over
have to have
1,000.
1,000 people.
1,000
threshold.
people.
Okay, so it's under the New York State Fire Code. Okay. Very good.
Good afternoon, Town Board. My name is Ken Schroeder. I'm part owner of Phoenix Home Buyers, and I'm here kind of from Mastic, and I'm kind of want to discuss a little about by 48 Willow Street that has been denied a permit from CAC said no, and also the Town Board Building Department has said no. But I'd have a script I kind of would like to read to describe what's been going on and what we've been running into. So on July 14, 2016, we purchased a property that's now currently known as 48 Willow Street. Prior to purchase, I did my due diligence. I looked at all the maps that pertain to environment for this area of Riverhead. We had talked to Nathan Corwin, who's a surveyor for many years in this town. We talked to Emily in the building department, and we talked, of course, with the owners. All of them said there are no environmental issues. Emily even stated, "Don't worry, it is a buildable lot." DEC maps show no environmental issues, therefore they had no jurisdiction on the property. Suffolk County maps did not show any environmental issues either. When we looked at the Riverhead Town website, there was a link for GIS. We used this as Riverhead's environmental information, but it was the same as the Suffolk County GIS, meaning that Riverhead did not have their own GIS at that time. And then out of the blue, after we've already gotten ZBA approval and Board of Health approval, there was this new Riverhead map that appeared. Now, it seems that no one else seems to know about this map because many surveyors, when I have foiled many properties in Riverhead, none of the surveys were ever marked with any of the Riverhead town wetland lines. And after we purchased this property, we had an idea that what we wanted to do. We noticed there was a building going up on 521 Peconic Bay Boulevard. It was a two-story structure. Later, after foiling the property, there was a CO granted on December 23rd, 2016, with many restrictions about what they could and couldn't do with electric and lighting and storage and bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. It had nothing to do, the restrictions had nothing to do with wetlands. Dr. Ken Cimatelli was the owner and now has sold it since. What we did discover is that back on April 23rd, 2013, DEC gave permission to fill in some of those wetlands on that property. This should never have been done without the Riverhead Town CAC approval, as it was their jurisdiction according to the maps that are on Riverhead now. That should never have been done. The approval from CAC to build the two-story was given on April 13, 2016. That was basically the same time we started to get our permit and start to do our own building. All that was mentioned with the CAC approval was that they had, DEC has non-jurisdictional that was dated in 2012. So if they had, DEC had non-jurisdiction in 2012, how did DEC give them permission to fill in wetlands in 2013? So they had no jurisdiction, so nowhere, and I say nowhere, is there anything on that CAC to do with delineation or environmental impact study for that property. My property, everyone calls a swamp in the community. It was man-made with an illegal construction of a driveway to the east and an illegal berm for bushes on the west. This kept the water on the property ever since the previous owner stopped maintaining it. The illegal driveway broke a pipe that came from a culvert on the north side of Peconic Bay Boulevard, which the engineer for Riverhead had no idea existed. And that pipe then continued into the bay. Since the north side of Peconic Bay Boulevard is tidal waters, I knew about the culvert from the 1979 original maps, which do not say our property is in wetlands. So how did it become wetlands on a Riverhead map? I went and foiled everything. The CAC made a decision after 2 years. We took 2 years to get through this, discussing the property. Decision was not allowed for us to build. During the 2-year process, we went through 4 delineators. Many different determinations were given as to whether this was wetlands. The first delineator and survey was rejected by the town, the building department. That delineator was threatened by the town about him being unprofessional and could not be trusted, putting his reputation on the line. That was under the old regime and Jeff Seaman, who I guess is no longer with the town because of his golf course in Quogue, which is now under question for environmental issues that he approved. Every time over the 2 years, the CAC has asked us to do something, we did it, and every time it cost us money, thousands of dollars in order to make everything requested correct. A letter from Brad Hammond dated March 26, 2019, after his review of the CAC decision, states we have been denied a building permit and refers us back to the ZBA. So on April 22nd, 2019, the ZBA extended our appeal for another year until April 27th, 2020. So now I've gone through the motions that I'm supposed to go through. The ZBA has now approved me for another year, but now I'm still not allowed to build what I did. I've gone to the assessor's office numerous times, called them numerous times to change where the property's been ever since 1979, when everything started to be done, is listed as residential vacant. If since 1979, it's, according to the maps, it's wetlands, it should not be residential vacant. We've seen a lot more violations in the area. We've been trying to do everything correctly. The Higgins houses, the 2 houses on the exact same street, violated rules that we were told we could not do. They pumped water into the street for dewatering, and we were specifically told we couldn't do it. We set up a garden for the wetlands to end up putting in a whole bunch of plants to take up 2,100 square feet to make the wetlands still wetlands in the area, that's according to what they said. My last delineator, we said, look, let's just do what you need to do. He made it, flagged it, all that kind of stuff. So in a way, I just killed myself by allowing him to do it. I mean, I don't know what the next step is. Do we sit down with the town? Do we go for an Article 78? Because now you've taken the property from me and I can't do anything with it. So I guess what I'm also looking for today is for the town to waive the statute of limitations on me doing a 78 if we're gonna sit down, because I'm getting close to that time frame where Article 78 cannot be done. So I don't know where to go from here. I did what the building department asked. I've now gone to the ZBA. They've now extended. So,
And you have Suffolk County Department of Health Services approval?
yes.
Does it require a retaining wall?
Oh, yeah, everything's there. It's not the issue. One of the things is, we're AE7, where the property is, it's AE7, and the CA seems to be worried about the water running underneath the property.
So is it a matter of them telling you you can't build on it? Or
Yes.
is it a matter of them telling you you should put a smaller house on it?
No, it's a matter of that I can there is about 90% now that's flagged. So, unless I could put a shack, there's nothing there, because I won't be able to get the zoning board approval. But they approved me on an extension for what I currently have submitted already.
So it's the CAC, which is, Bob, is that advisory or is that?
No, they render
It's an
decisions.
advisory.
No, they render decisions. They're a quasi-judicial board that renders decisions that are binding.
Okay, because that's not what, I read the code, and the code says that they advise the
The zoning
building
board?
department. No, the
Zoning board?
CAC.
Oh,
CAC.
The CAC is advisory, yes. I thought you
Right,
said
so they
zoning- I thought you said
advised-
zoning board of appeals.
No, I got what you're saying, no.
No, the
They
zoning board of appeals
advised.
approved it.
Meanwhile, like I said, this two-car garage went up in the middle of wetlands. Not even, CAC didn't even look at it. They didn't even look at maps, there's nothing in there at all. Yet, when we go ahead and somebody complained because we were building next to them, they didn't want the house built next to them, so they came in for the zoning board, which really blew my mind. The zoning board wanted us to add a window to meet.
Well, it sounds like there's conflicts
And if
conflicts
I
here.
could
We
say
have the
I need
CAC
somebody to make a
saying-
decision
but we have
besides the
CAC
CAC.
We have the CAC saying you can't build there, we have the building department, saying you can't build there, we have you saying that you can build there. So it's,
We went
you
through
can leave-
everything. I spent thousands of dollars to meet, every month they'd say, we need this. I went and did it, paid my engineer and everybody to take care of it. Next month, this is what's gotta be done, we paid again.
The only thing I can tell you assuredly is it's not gonna get settled today. So,
I understand that.
Well, I think the best thing to do is, there's a lot more people besides us that are very familiar with this and why decisions were made the way they were. Whether it's CAC, Anne-Marie Prudente, Greg Bergman. There's a lot involved, and I'm not saying that, I know your remedy is to come before this board, and this board has to really educate themselves on all of those decisions and why they were made before we could even.
And I don't have a problem doing that, but I also don't wanna have my time run out to do an Article 78.
Well, I think if you've written up your script, I think if you could leave that with the town clerk so the board can take a look at that.
Just some scratches.
Your request is to
What is your
extend the
time
time
limit for
period.
Article 78?
30 days?
Because basically, by not allowing me to build in a development that's approved, and it's been listed as a vacant
I get it.
residential property, now the town is using the rule of taking the property from us, which court cases have awarded
Well, this
the
is.
money plus future earnings.
I get it.
Well, this is where I think you should leave the information with us, because I'm not sure whether you can build something there, it's just smaller than what you're wishing to build. So if you could leave that information, and then we could have the town attorney look over your request.
And I can't see this town board extending the time frame for you to file an Article 78.
Yeah, we're not gonna stick that.
I missed that, I'm sorry.
You asked us to extend the time frame for you
Right.
to file an Article 78. I can't see this board doing that.
I don't know, do we have jurisdiction to even do that?
I'm not
Well,
sure.
if the
You have
case
an
still
ability
stays
to
open with the
waive
town,
statute
then
of
yes.
limitations.
Yeah, I don't think so, yeah.
It's 30 days.
So if you, once
gotta
again,
file against
you've
the
asked a
building
lot of
department.
questions, you've brought a lot of information forward, if you could leave that with us for us to review.
What I'm
we'll-
leaving you
we'll have the
also
town
is
board-
the no and the yes from the ZBA,
Okay, thank you.
and my script. Thank you.
I'm very familiar with the problem. Feel sorry for them. This drainage issue.
Well, it depends who you talk to.
So, that's what matters to this.
All right, is there anybody else that wanted to address the town board?
Good afternoon, my name is Robert Elrose. I live at 159 Ackleby Street, and I've been a resident of Riverhead Town for over 25 years. I'm a proud member of the United States Marine Corps, and I'm a Vietnam vet. And I'm here today to request that the veterans would be able to get free parking and beach permits for Riverhead beaches.
Did that? Yep, we actually, we did do that.
It's always been that way, as a matter of fact.
No, they
No,
charge.
veterans
they-
do not.
Because
they-
the
they do not.
recreation superintendent told me that the veterans have always gotten the beach passes,
Not
so.
always, no.
I
No,
paid-
but we
Something
did,
I
just
paid
did
$50 last
Yeah.
year.
I know, we discussed it, and I did mention it on the
$50?
Veterans
Oh,
Advisory.
for driving on the beach.
It's $45 to drive on the beach and $5 to park at the beach, yes.
yeah, I believe that for a veteran, you can get either the 4x4, you can get one or the other, a beach pass or the 4x4. And that's through the recreation department, because it was something that we passed for this year when we did our beach permits and the pricing for everything, so.
Thank you very much.
Talk about working quick, right?
Oh, this is great, thank you.
And thank you for your
Thank you
service.
for your
Thank you very
service.
much.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
They told me we don't.
Seeing nobody, can I have a first and second to close the town board meeting?
I said we should do second.
All in favor?
Started, we just did that.
Opposed?
2 years
So
ago.
carried?
I think you can handle it, Jim.
We always, firemen,